my lovelies, my autococks and Decepticons. How are you all? Good, I hope. Slightly less comments this week, which gives me a bit of space to do some more update and housekeeping type things, I suppose. So, Tabletop Plus has been on hiatus due to various things, but we are looking to restart sooner rather than later at this point. But we're looking to recruit replacement players because for one reason or another we've lost everyone other than Anna and Richard. Unfortunately, because I'm friends with everyone and it's upsetting whenever a group disintegrates, but particularly this one. So if you are an adult worker or you know any adult workers who are also nerds, then please do pass on my information and ask them to get in touch with me, because I am having a hard time approaching anyone without seeming like a total creep. So, yeah, that's a problem. And no, we don't need any of you to volunteer. Thank you. That joke is played out. Oh, what else is going on? Well, sexiness is kind of the theme at the moment. I'm still working away on an erotic choose-your-own-adventure book with a steampunk theme. It's slow going, but we're getting there. So if that's the kind of thing that might tickle your fancy, keep an eye out for updates on that. The basic skeleton of the thing is complete, and I'm now going back and filling in all the entries and adding some extra choices here and there for things. So you can look forward to that. That's in collaboration with someone, but I'll save that information for a bit later. Also in collaboration with the same someone, I have been working, and they have been working on a deck of many kinks to bring some saucy fun to your D&D games, because the Deck of Many Things book looks like it's going to be quite disappointing. Also, our very own Witch King has written an adventure for Korean Adventures, and I've edited that and am generating all the NPCs and stuff for the background, and then I need to think of something extra to add into the back of it, some expanded rules or something. So you can look forward to that in reasonably short order. I will be doing an interview about Gamergate, of all things, for a new book that someone is writing soon. And I believe that interview will be put up on YouTube, possibly podcasts, and elsewhere. So you can look forward to that. And at some point in the very near future, I'll be on It's Not Therapy with Liana Kersner, talking about what it's like to be a creative with depression and anxiety, and the challenges and other issues around that. So that will be interesting. I will be on The Week in Geek tomorrow over on T-Shirted Historians channel. Go and subscribe there. And playing in his Darwin's World game on Sunday. Again, same channel. Go and subscribe there, T-Shirted Historian. And the games that I've been running, more people have been watching them on T-Shirt's channel, where he restreams them, rather than on my channel, Grimstreams, which is very upsetting and not right at all. So go and subscribe to Grimstreams and correct that, if you would be so kind. On to comments on my review of The Extraordinary Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Dane Minton says, "Great review, it was very entertaining. Side note, incurably French, you say? Sounds like an Englishman's jealousy. What could there possibly be to be jealous of when it comes to the French? They're women, perhaps, I suppose, but keeping them in cigarettes and black dresses and Chanel is rather expensive. So I think on balance, an English rose is better than a French whatever plant they compare themselves to." Ajax Plunkett says, question, could RPGs have a gauge to scale extremes between narrative storytelling RPGs to heavy simulationists, like a base and acid pH scale, and still qualify, generally speaking, as a tabletop role-playing game, like a big umbrella, and players choose to their own taste. I feel Monster of the Week, a Powered by the Apocalypse game, was a role-playing game, but just barely, almost as if I was playing an actor on a TV show that played a monster hunter who got into adventures, and not just a monster hunter. A sort of meta fourth wall creeped into the game. That is my observation on Powered by the Apocalypse games as well, that they are not games where you inhabit a role directly, but where you play at a sort of meta level, much as you describe. What you describe with the scale between narrative and simulationist, that's two parts of GNS theory, gamist, narrativist, simulationist, to which I would add toy, which would give us two axes between narrative and simulationist and game and toy. So you could plot it like a political compass based on coordinates if we could find useful questions to help us plot it there. And then you could identify what sort of taste you had or what sort of quadrant you were aiming for when you designed a game. But as of yet, there isn't one. But yeah, there definitely could be one. Larkinson says of the review, so meta. There's me expecting you to do an ordinary show and tell of a game I know of and have, and instead you're actually playing the game in the video itself. My flagon is drained. Huzzah! On my review of the Book of Beasts, Real Live Blues Cat said, "Oh my god, you really are whining, aren't you? I don't think a lot of things in life is good enough for you." I honestly do not get this. I gave it a positive review, and the negatives that I gave were extremely subjective and situational, and I made sure to explain that they were extremely situational and that this was a good book, despite me marking it down a bit due to the way in which I review books. Maybe that's a weakness in my reviewing, but this isn't the first time people have given me shit over what is a positive review of something they like. It's like, well, you liked this thing that I also like, but you didn't have a multiple orgasm the moment you touched it. That's not good enough. What the entire and actual fuck? I don't get it. Like, we played Airship Pirates over on Grim Streams the other day. I reviewed that many moons ago with a positive review, but the band's fans and the people involved in the art of it still didn't like my review, even though it was positive, and harassed me over it, which is possibly why it's taken 10 years for me to play the fucking thing. So yeah, I don't get it. You like it, but not enough. What? I don't know. While I was going through the Book of Beasts, I mentioned the Tupilak, which was something I should have known but couldn't remember offhand. Kev O'Reilly helpfully explains that in Greenlandic Inuit religion, a Tupilak is an avenging monster fabricated by a practitioner of witchcraft or shamanism. If I remember correctly, they fashion it from bits of corpses and dead animals and shit like that. I should have remembered. I don't know where I've heard of it before, but I definitely heard of it before and read quite extensively on it, so it's annoying and embarrassing that I didn't remember it. Senescence creeping in, I suppose. Someone resurrected the Safety Tools video. Eggs and Ham said, "Based and red-pilled porn-addicted dude bro has a meltdown about people taking others into account. Tale as old as time." So clearly they weren't quite caught up, but saying someone is porn-addicted sounds like kink shaming to me. Maybe many things, but a dude bro isn't them. Isn't one of them. And taking others into account. You see, that is the source of a large part of my objection to safety tools is that they don't take the majority of the people sat around the table into account. So this seems to be a case of it's okay when we do it, whereas I'm more concerned about the enjoyment and the art of the story, and I refuse to be shamed or assaulted for having those different priorities, or for, ironically, taking other people at the table into account. Fuck these people, man. On the video about Brand, Mook Arendubs says, I feel like my vocabulary has improved twofold after stumbling across your channel. Thanks, Grim, you got a new subscriber. I don't know what polysyllabic words I used in that particular video commentary, but I'm passing gladsome that you find my verbose circumlocution accords itself to your fancy. On the Flash Gordon review, Stonework Megapup says, thankfully this book doesn't take into account modern sensibilities. That's not why I would want to play Flash Gordon. Yeah, and neither the film nor the original comic strip or serials, nor any other particular incarnation of Flash Gordon, other than perhaps the abortive Sci-Fi Channel serial, has bothered with modern sensibilities. I don't think people play these kind of historical or retrofuturistic games looking for modern sensibilities. I think part of the fun is taking into account the historical sensibilities, the phrasing, pacing, plots, style, and so on. And I think it's always a mistake when people try to modernize these things. So, yeah, I agree with you. Right, on to the Kalergi plan, which has ever had the most engagement with it, unfortunately. Dylanesque says, you look and speak like a clown. You are a clown. I've never seen a clown that looks like me. Maybe rodeo clowns occasionally look like me. I tell jokes, so I guess I'm a clown in a certain point of view, from a certain point of view. But here's the thing, that doesn't change the reality or accuracy of what I say. If a clown tells you 2 + 2 = 4, they're correct, and the face makeup and the general terrifying aura of the clown does not make any difference as to what is true and accurate or not, and what I described was true and accurate. Mark Ford says, 4 years later, looking at Europe and the UK, I'd say you're the one talking horseshit. There's always a lot of this in the comments. I think, I don't read out every one, but there's a lot of just look, durr. What am I supposed to be looking at? You act like something, whatever it is self-evident. 4 years after I made that video, I look around and there are still white people, and the general atmosphere towards refugees and asylum seekers and migrants is hugely negative. Most of the governments have been moderating their welcome for such people, or becoming openly hostile as a vote-chasing exercise, hoping to get that gammon vote in. So what am I supposed to be looking at? Yeah, I've done other videos looking at the statistics and things, and what am I supposed to be looking at? In the same vein, Eagle Strike says, funny how so much of what the left brands as conspiracy theories turn out to be fact. Like what? Again. 5G? COVID? Masking? Vaccinations? None of this has turned out to be fact. The conspiracy theories around it. What are you even fucking talking about? Again, they just seem to take it as read that you know what they're talking about, or that any conspiracy theory or any current situation, proves whatever it is they're talking about, but they never name it. Smudger said a bunch of things, so let's pick out a couple of comments. All this freak can say is show me the plan in a book. What an absolute moron. Even if we showed you the plan, you'd rubbish it and come up with an excuse, for fuck's sake. Plans ain't always written down either. I plan to do plenty in my lifetime, but it's not all written down, and if it was, I'd keep my plans to myself so others don't know what I plan. Your plan is as clear as the Kalergi plan is. You plan to continue spreading misinformation and disinformation. Your handlers must be proud. What? Why do they always assume that you're being paid or something just because you disagree with them? I don't get that either. Look, the Kalergi plan conspiracy theory is that Count Coudenhove-Kalergi not only had a plan, but that plan is contained within the pages of practical idealism, practischer idealismus. It isn't. Right, so, and if there is no plan within the book, as is claimed by the conspiracy theory, then the conspiracy theory is debunked. And there is, indeed, no plan within the pages of practical idealism. There are observations on this is how the world is going to go, and here is how some things might be done in the future. It's quite prophetic, really, though it has, interwar racism. So you'd think racists would be happy about it. But if there is no plan in the book, then the conspiracy theory is debunked. That's how this works. I don't know what is wrong with you. Smudger goes on to say, as this guy harped on about his paid-for opinion, I wish. He became more and more annoying, droned on zombie. Also, what is it with these people having terrible English skills? Even the ones who speak English as a native language seem to be unable to articulate their thoughts in any way, shape, or form. Is it just because they're dumb? I don't know. I hesitate to say that, because there are plenty of intelligent people who fall for these conspiracy theories as well, or at least grift along with them. Seems a bit dismissive to just say that people are stupid, but they are inarticulate. Finally, Smudger says, forced multiculturalism is the problem. It's a plan that's happening right now. Pale-skinned folk are being diluted. It's ethnic cleansing right in front of your eyes. This man is obviously very stupid and very indoctrinated. Says the man who can barely express himself in English. Where is this multiculturalism being forced? If there's a plan happening, show me the plan. Where it was supposed to exist. Pale-skinned folk are being diluted. No. And it wouldn't matter anyway. Culture isn't genetic. There is no ethnic cleansing. If people are choosing to interbreed, to miscegenate, A, what business is it of yours? And B, how is it ethnic cleansing if it's a free personal choice? These people, man. It's not explicable necessarily why they think any of this stuff is bad, or why or how they think any of this stuff is happening, or how and why they don't even understand the very conspiracy theories that they're spouting. As I say, I'm hesitant to just write them off as stupid, but what else is there? Zang. Welcome to St. Cloud is a system-agnostic setting of atmospheric, surreal horror and investigation by Miguel Ribeiro. An isolated town set amongst forests and mountains, St. Cloud is a closed community of eccentrics and oddities. While system-agnostic, guideline statistics are provided for actual fucking monsters. You can get Welcome to St. Cloud at post-mort.com, lulu.com and DriveThruRPG.